here. Let's be the change that we want to see.
Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that very nice introduction. And it is my honor to kick off the Experience Design Summit with you. And basically, I'm going to zoom out, right? I'm going to zoom out and show everyone what is going on in the world. And this is the framework, Barbara, that you talked about. It basically says that goods and services are no longer enough. And what people want today are experiences. Right? And experiences are a distinct economic offering, as distinct from services as services are from goods. It's basically use goods as props and services as a stage to engage each and every individual in an inherently personal way, and thereby create that memory, which is the hallmark of the experience. But experiences are not the final economic offering, because experiences can be commoditized as well, just like goods and services can. In fact, experiences may be easier to commoditize, because the second time you have the same experience, it doesn't tend to be as good as the first. The third time, not as good as that. And pretty soon you have customers saying, been there, done that. That's the hallmark of a commoditized experience. But we have a heuristic in this progression of economic value where customization is the antidote to commoditization. Commoditization is like the law of gravity. If a company does nothing else, it will be commoditized over time. But customization lifts you up. You cannot help but be differentiated, not be a commodity, if you customize for each individual. So what happens when you customize an experience? When you design an experience that's so appropriate for this particular person, exactly the experience that they need at this moment in time, well, then you can't help but turn it into what we often call a life-transforming experience. In other words, an experience that changes us in some way. And I call that a transformation. A transformation is the fifth and final economic offering, this progression of value. We're using experiences as the raw material to guide people to change, to help them achieve their aspirations in particular. Since you, Barbara, are a professor, and you have many professors here, think about university environments, right? Why do people go to university? Is it for the ideas they get there? That's the commodities of the business, because everybody has the same ideas. You have to publish them after all. No, that's not it. Is it for the physical books and other things that they have to buy to be able to matriculate at a university? Well, that's not it. Is it for the homework analysis that their professors have to do, the services? Right? That's not it. Is it for the classroom experience and the life experience that we have there? Well, now we're getting close. But really what it's for is the transformation. You go to university in order to have a greater knowledge, greater skills, greater capabilities, to have a higher earning potential, to have a different job, to be transformed into who you are going to become, right? So transformations are that distinct offering. But one university that recognizes that is the London Business School, where the former Dean John Quelch said that we're not in the education business, we're in the transformation business. We expect everyone who participates in the program at the London Business School, whether it's for 3 days or for 2 years, to be transformed by the experience. That's a different mindset of which you approach your experience design. It's a different economic offering. Think about healthcare is all about transformations. Heartland Health here, I worked with this company a number of years ago, and they took on their theme of their experience, really their meaningful purpose of live life well. They want their patients to live life well. They want their family members to live life well. They want their employees to live life well. So out of that abundance, they can help their patients live life well. They want the entire community to live life well. And it completely changed how they viewed things. They renamed the company Mosaic Life Care, and you can see how the very different experience design they took it from normal medical offices, which are rather boring and mundane, to vibrant, right, lively places that they have created. Many people buy these products from GlaxoSmithKline, Nicorette gum, Nicoderm CQ patches, because what? Because they want to go from smoker to non-smoker. That's their aspiration. But GSK did a study and found that only 24% of the people who buy their patches actually ever quit smoking. So what they did is they designed a transformative experience around that called MyQuit, where they actually analyze them up front, diagnose, why do you want to quit smoking? What are the obstacles you need to overcome? When do you most crave a cigarette? And then they design an 8-week program to be able to help them actually quit smoking, still centered around their physical goods, but now the transformation is what enables it to actually happen. Coaches of all stripe, whether it's golfing, whether it's tennis, whether it's a life coach, whether it's an executive coach, a personal trainer, whatever it might be, coaches are all in the transformation business because that's what people are buying from them. They want to be the change that they want to see. Think about a company like Italy that in fact has all 5 economic offerings in its stores. It's sort of an amazing place. I think Italy's the most vibrant retail experience in the world. They extract commodities and sell them in the stores. They make physical products out of those commodities, goods that they sell in the stores. They have fast delivery of services and merchandising that brings in the service business. They have wonderfully vibrant restaurants and cafes that create an amazing experience that they stage for everyone. And then they also have admission fee cooking schools to be able to turn people into Italian chefs that then buy all of the other things from Italy. So they wrap all that together in this amazingly vibrant retail package. Transformational travel is one of the biggest growing areas of travel, at least before the pandemic, and I think will be even bigger after the pandemic as we now go, because we recognize that when are we most open to change is when we travel, is when we get out of our daily routines, when we go someplace else. And it allows us to really rethink who we are, what we want out of life, and who we want to be. And you can see that, of course, with the College of Extraordinary Experiences that you mentioned, Barbara, that it's not just a workshop. It's not just a retreat. It's not just an experience. It is transformational. It is there to turn people into experienced designers that can go on and, in fact, change the world. You think about the hero's journey. The hero's journey is a transformational journey. It is going from one place, overcoming all of these obstacles, right, in the depths of despair with the help of a wizard to be able to overcome that and return a different person. But the one thing about the hero's journey is recognize that the hero doesn't want to go on the journey, right? The hero never wants to go on the journey. In fact, he resists it, right? He almost has to be forced to be able to go on that journey. But with true transformations as economic offerings, customers are seeking the journey. They're seeking to be transformed. They're seeking to effectively achieve their aspirations. That's what is key, is that the customers here are aspirants. They want to go from where they are today to what they want to become. And you have to help them figure out how they can go through that. What are the set of experiences that it takes to get from where they are today to what they want to become? So you have to understand what are their aspirations and figure out what is that deep aspirations they truly want, which is not always what they tell you. Sometimes you have to ask why and why and why, and ask 5 whys until you get down to what that true aspiration is for each individual person. With transformations as a distinct economic offering, recognize that the customer is the product. The customer is the product. Right? It doesn't matter what you do if the customer isn't transformed. That's why you have to understand their aspirations and help them achieve them. It's only the change customer is the offering of a transformation. And that's why we, in fact, need to understand what you charge for with transformations, right? From a company perspective, you are what you charge for. You are what you charge for. If you charge for undifferentiated stuff, you're in the commodities business. If you charge for tangible things, you're in the goods business. If you charge for the activities your people perform, you're in the services business. With experiences, you charge for time. The time that people spend with you, via an admission fee, a membership fee, or some other way of charging for time. But what do you do with transformations? Is you charge for the demonstrated outcome that your customer achieves. Again, it's all about helping them achieve their aspiration. You charge for the outcome that your customers achieve. Many businesses, many industries are now moving toward this. In some universities, for example, is that you no longer have to pay tuition, right? Tuition is free, but they'll take a % of your income after you graduate, right? If you graduate, number one. if you get a job, number 2, if that job is in your field, number 3, and if it pays enough money, right? All this is set down as criteria, right? Then you have been transformed, and they take a percentage of the income. Medtronics, the pacemaker inventor and medical device manufacturer, right? They talk about how all of healthcare is shifting to charging for outcomes. Again, because inputs don't matter when it comes to a transformation, only the outcome. That's why any business that is about helping their customers become healthy, wealthy, or wise is shifting to outcomes-based compensation. So we need to think about, what do we charge for? How do we help them do that? Consulting companies are another one that often charge for the change that they make. And transformations apply in B2B situations just as they do for individual human beings. So how do you figure out what are our customers' aspirations, and then how do we charge for helping them achieve those aspirations? And to do that, we need to recognize the 3 basic phases of any transformation. And here I'll use a medical term. The first phase is, in fact, diagnosis. It's diagnosis. Who is this person? What do they want to become? And once you understand that, and often why they want to become it, how they want to become it, all these things get wrapped up into there. Then and only then can you design the set of experiences it takes to achieve that aspiration. It's generally not one life-transforming experience. Generally, it's a set of experiences with some black sliding in there as well before you finally achieve that aspiration. But then you need one more thing. And it's the one thing that most companies that should be in the transformation business forget about, and that is follow through. Follow through. Follow through is not the same thing as follow up. Right? Follow up is, hi, how you doing? Follow through is ensuring that the transformation takes hold. Right? And that's incredibly important, because like if I go to my quit and after 8 weeks I quit smoking, but 3 weeks later I light up again, well, I didn't really achieve my aspiration. You have to have follow through. You have to ensure that transformation takes hold. And that often leads back then, once that transformation does take hold, we know, geez, now I may have a new aspiration, either in the same direction of where I'm going or perhaps in a different direction. And so it's an opportunity to keep in touch with that customer and be able to understand how can you help them on a lifelong basis achieve their aspirations. And fundamentally understand that it's about time, right? It's about time. In fact, all of experiences are about time. Experiences, as famed architect John Jurdy once said, is the design of time. Experiences are the design of time. You're designing the time that customers spend with you. Right? That's what experience design is, but transformations take it to a new level. And understand, too, the most precious resource on this planet, right? On this global planet, right here in year 0, the most precious resource is the time of individual human beings. And what happens so often is that companies waste their time, right? They waste customers' time by putting obstacles in their place, by making them answer questions more than once, by putting up barriers to be able to talk to a live human being in a contact center, for example. So the first thing we need to do is stop wasting their time by providing time well saved. And that's what services do. They provide time well saved, that they're there to do things better and do things more quickly, to be nice and easy and convenient. But experiences, again, are about the design of time. Experiences are about time well spent, that people value the time that they spend with you. And that's why you need to charge for time. But with transformations, what are we doing? We're going beyond that to provide time well invested. Time well invested, that you take that series of time well spent and you aim them at an aspiration so that they get compound interest and dividends that pay out now and into the future. That's what transformations are about. And that is what's going on as we zoom out to look at macroeconomically. What is going on planet Earth right now is a shift not just to the experience economy, but hot on its heels is the transformation economy. So you need to think about how you design your experiences to be transformative, to yield up to that transformation, to be able to give customers, help them achieve their aspirations. That's what transformations are about. Thank you.